hot right now. And when I look at the actives, if it's active for 180 days, I wouldn't use that one. There's something
Oh,
wrong there. But if, usually a house is going to be active under 30 days, and usually the agent's going to price it right, close to it. But the solds are the main comps.
okay. And how many you think I should go through, for one property? As
How
many
many?
get what I need? I mean, comps to go through to get, the price.
I would say a minimum of three, right, Todd?
Yep.
I mean, that's probably a good number to get you a good average of a price per square foot.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think appraisers do.
Yeah.
Is they use at least three. So some areas you're not going to be able to find three, but if you can use three, obviously the more the better. Like Todd said, I like the way to do it by the book is three, and then you average them out. But we look at everything. I mean, I sent out a wholesale deal the other day, and there weren't really any comps. Highest comp was maybe 70K, but there's a house pending, a 3-bed, 1-bath pending down the road. And so in my email, I just said there's a 3-bed, 1-bath pending down the road. And people will appreciate that because most people are just looking at sold, so they can use that to gather information. You can even call the listing agent and say, hey, how much what was the offer on that one? They may or may not tell you. Or just say, how many offers did you get? They say they got 5 offers. You can tell that to your investors now. So I use that comp, but don't say this is a comp, because people assume that's sold. So if it is pending or if it's active, make sure you say that. But I mean, 3 is typical. We look at everything, and then I'll typically choose the comp that's the one that's most just close to that house. Maybe they're both on corner lots, your house and this comp, and it's got a bigger garage than these other two. Just go to whatever's most accurate. But 3 is definitely the best way to do it. Like Todd said, though, the pendings are coming in a lot higher than the comps right now, so we've been using those a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
In some wholesalers, I know a couple experienced wholesalers, they preach that they do not give out any ARV or comps, because they don't want to sway. Someone might be thinking totally different. They want them to figure it out for themselves. But as a wholesaler, you need to know so you can figure out what you could get this thing out under contract and what you could make on it and what you could sell it for. So you still need to know that.
Right.
I had someone today said, look, I got this nice house, and he wanted me to pull the comps. I pulled them, and I pretty much said, look, you could get it for 40,000 or less, and you'll make this amount of money. And he goes, well, if the guy wants 45, do you think we could sell it for 55? I'm saying, no, we can't. It doesn't make sense. It's only worth this amount of money. So it's, you just got to remember who is going to be your end buyer, and you got to leave meat on the bone for them. You got to, else you're not going to sell it.
Okay. So do I need to start establishing me a buyer's list, or don't have to worry about that?
If you get a good deal, there's buyers will follow. So, and I mean, you could contact another wholesaler. They have buyers. You can always squat up with someone. I mean, Carson and I squat up all the time. We did one this weekend, right, Carson? In wherever, Oakland County, Walled Lake, Wixom, something like that. And me and Michael Mukhtar, we squat up. Randy and I are gonna work together some. So,
Okay.
so that, eventually, you could probably maybe do one by yourself. And by the time you get it under contract and get it figured out and get it sold, it might take you 30 to 60 days. It's going to be a lot of learning and time.
Right.
And then you're probably not going to be looking for new deals until this deal closes, so you're always got to be hunting for new deals, no matter if you're doing it by yourself or you're not. You can't just drop everything and try to sell a deal,
Okay.
always got to set aside time, 2 to 4, 5 hours a day looking, calling people and, you got to figure out what that number needs to be. You know, if you're on a dialer, you could probably be successful doing it 2 to 3 hours a day if you have a dialer. But if you're hand dialing, you better do it for 5, 6, 7 hours a day.
Okay, because I don't even know what $1 is.
You should, Deborah, we have a whole, like, I was probably a month ago, we had a whole week on acquisitions, which is like how to find deals, all that kind of stuff. And then we went into what systems we use, including what dialer. So if you go to Todd's YouTube, Todd Vernon Chun, then you can watch that video. It goes into depth about that because I know we're not going to have time today, just so you know. And then we also have another whole entire week on dispositions, like how to sell your deals, how to build your buyers list. So feel free to go check those out too.
Okay, but I definitely would want to, what you say, squat up?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to do the first one by myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just way easier. You can go into it with confidence. When I squat up with people, I tell them, look, because I've ran so many comps at this point, I know what to look for, what not to look for. I'll tell them, hey, Matt, if we can't sell this at, like, let's say the seller, you know, they negotiate down to 80 or whatever. I'll say, okay, look, that's a good deal. I ran the comps. It's a good deal. I'll buy it at 80 or 85 if you can't sell it. And then you can go into that deal with confidence. Like, I'm not worried about screwing this person over and not being able to sell their deal because I don't know how to run numbers. You're learning how to run numbers, and worst case scenario, I buy it either at contract price or 80, whatever, just depending on the deal. And then you have that confidence, you know, and you still make money and close the deal either way. So it's definitely worth it. That's how I started. I literally started squatting up like 2 years ago with Todd in his office. I didn't know anything. And I was just like, Todd, what is this? What is this? What is this? Like, I was blowing off his phone. So,
Okay.
yeah. So that's a good way to start.
So I need to, I already found some properties and everything. It's just, I just need to start trying to learn how to do the numbers. So once I figure that out, I can reach back out to you, right?
Yep.
Once I get the numbers right.
Right.
Yeah, I'll put my contact info in the chat. I don't know if Todd already did it or not.
I put mine in there. Put yours in.
I'm in like Flint. I was a little bit late, but I'm in the Genesee County area. I know Chris Collins is out here. I think that's kind of it in the Flint area. But
Armani, right? He's on here, I think.
I don't see him on here now.
Oh, he was. All right.
Gotcha. Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions at all?
Yeah, there's some in the
I live in Walled Lake. What was that deal you guys just had down here?
Yeah, man. It was off of
Decker.
Decker. Yeah, it was.
Was it Walled Lake or Wixom?
Huh?
It's got to be Walled Lake or Novi or Commerce.
It was Walled Lake.
Did you already get a buyer signed in for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold that one in a day. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, we sold it on Saturday and closing Monday.
And I talked to, it'll be a week close. I literally talked to the seller on Monday for the first time.
Yeah.
So that was a
That
good
must
one.
not be on your right list.
Yeah. Are you a wholesaler or investor out there? What do you do?
I'm an investor.
Cool, man.
I got one in Commerce Township, Ben.
What do you got?
I'll have to put your contact information in the chat. Okay. I'll
Where
let you
do I
know.
get to the chat? I'm on my phone here.
Oh, okay.
I'll get there.
Okay. Yep, for sure. If not, I'll get it before we end. Okay.
Yeah, right on.
So, usually everyone, we didn't really introduce ourselves, but I'm Todd Chun, Carson Demick, and Michael Heater. He's not here today, but we started doing this. This is our 20th episode. And we just pretty much talking wholesaling and answering questions. Not that any of us are perfect, we have our own ways of doing things and we're learning just like everyone else. But I've been doing this for 4 years. 4 years ago, I'd never even heard of wholesaling. I worked for a company doing mortgages and rentals in Detroit, buying at the auction. I had no idea there was this many flippers out there. Never heard of wholesaling before. and heard about it 4 years ago. And after like 3 months, I quit my job I had for 23 years and went on my own. And haven't, I'm doing the flips, a couple flips at a time is probably the most I want to do. And wholesaling, trying to wholesale 10, 15, 20 deals a month. That's my goal. Really 20 deals a month is my goal, but I'm averaging 10, 12, 13, something like that. And I'm a real estate agent. What about
Yep.
you, Carson?
So like I mentioned, I started up swatting up with Todd, like it was 2 years ago. It was September of 2019 that I kind of dove into wholesaling, met him around like November, October. He kind of taught me about it. I didn't really do anything for the first 6 months. And then I got my first deal in March. So I've been, actively doing deals for about 2 years full time. Just this is all I do pretty much all day, every day. So I love it. I mean, like I just got back from golfing though, so I can't even say that. Like I'm willing to work 10 hours a day if I can choose when I want to spend that 2 hours that I'm not working.
Yeah.
So, and it's really good money. I don't have to work this much. So yeah, that's kind of my story. I'm not licensed Christian. I was taking my class and I decided I just haven't finished it. I'm like 2 hours into the class and I've had it for 4 or 5 months. So I've just been so busy with deals. Like I know between me and Todd, we've already closed 30 this month. That's just like, it's kind of overwhelming. So I haven't had a chance to get my course done, but if I really wanted to, I could. It's a bit of an excuse. So I heard, Christian, you got your first deal, man. Can you just tell the story, start to finish? Todd, you might have to unmute it.
Nope, he got it.
Sure, yeah. So after like 5 months of actively cold calling, hours and days, I finally pulled a decent list and I found my motivated seller. And from when I met him to when I closed was 2 months because he had pretty trashy tenants that weren't willing to move out, and he was looking to sell because they didn't want to pay the rent increase. So a few weeks go by, I go over to the house, take a few pictures. Like a month after that, we actually signed a purchase and sale agreement. And shortly after that, I had to request a price reduction because I wasn't finding any cash buyers. So then after I did that, I put it on Facebook, and like 5 minutes later, I found my cash buyer, and that's just how it went.
So
Where you
what
at?
did you
Where you out of,
contract?
Christian?
Sorry,
Where was the deal at? What state? What city?
Dallas, Texas. Yeah,
Yep. And what list was it off of?
it was absentee owner, even though people were living in there. The actual owner didn't live there. So
Yep.
I think that's how I found him on there. Thanks.
Yeah,
Izzy.
it's a great list to find like tired landlords on. And so what did you contract it at? And then what were you initially trying to sell it for?
So me and him signed a purchase and sale agreement for $175,500. But after a few days go by, my 10-day contingency is almost over. So I had to write up a new contract for $150. And so I found a cash buyer that was willing to buy it for $173.
Wow, nice job, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
the cash buyer, they're gonna flip it, fix it and flip it?
No, because they're a company. They just like buy and hold. And I think they do like light renovations and just rent it. I don't think they're fix and flippers.
So a house for 173, what is that, like a $2,000 rental in that area?
It's about 1,200 to 1,500.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
Terrible.
They came in really high. I was kind of and I was a little sus about them because they were the highest people that were offering the most money. And that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense because they're a company and they weren't planning to fix and flip it. Because if they were, the ARV was around 210. I don't think they would make much.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's a good buyer for you, Christian. You should be talking to them and finding, they pay more than anyone else, and you should be going and searching for houses, find out what areas they like and just go crazy in that area.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Is it, Christian, is it like a big nationwide company or just a local company?
No, because their office is in Georgia, but they have like little office here in Dallas. And yeah, that's how I guess you would say nationwide. I'm not too sure how many offices they have around this country, but
Gotcha.
Maybe you could share their information offline. I'll call them and see where else they buy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you don't mind sharing their information, yeah, go for it. But if you want to, I don't know, like if it's a big company like Open Door or something, everyone knows about them. But I was just kind of curious. I would be curious to know if I know that company or not.
Because no one will pay here, the 1% rule. Like if it's worth 200,000 and they rent it for $2,000, that doesn't
Uh-huh.
work here.
Yeah. Like I said, I was didn't make any sense to me. But I'm gonna say the company name if I can find it.
But that was a good that was a great job. So what did you learn? I mean, or let me ask you this first before I ask you that. So when you had your 10 days is about to go up, how did you feel when you had to ask for the price reduction?
I didn't feel too bad because I signed it knowing I've run the numbers and it didn't work for me, but he was being really stubborn. I got him down from 180 to 175, so that was good enough for me. I already knew that I was gonna have to get a price reduction, but
Okay.
I just F it. I'll post it on Facebook, see what happens. If I don't do it, I'll ask for the price reduction
Right.
because the
How did
house.
you pitch? How did you pitch that to him? Like, how did you? I'm him. You call me. I need a reduction. What did you say? How did you have that conversation?
So yeah, I sent in a guy that I actually met on here meetup. He's an inspector. He always does inspections. So I got him to go out there. The house needed like 60K in repairs, right? So I called. Let's say I called Carson. He's a seller. I said, hey Carson, it proves that I wanted to give you that 175.50 because I locked it up, right? But I just can't do it because repairs is 60K. I would lose money, right? I'm an investor. So we just can't do it. Rotten wood, blood on the floor. Carpets need to be, everything was messed up. I wish I could show you these pictures, very nasty. But yeah, he kind of knew it too because I remember he didn't see the house for 4 months.
Right.
So we met, when I went over to take pictures, it was the first time, he saw the house for the first time in 4 months. It was, so he kind of knew what the condition was. And yeah, he wasn't too, shocked that I, asked for a price reduction. He knew.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
I got a question. Did you tell him upfront when you first got under contract that you were a wholesaler or that you were going to shop around to other investors or that you were going to buy it? Like, how did you handle that?
I just told him I was an investor. I'm a local home buyer. I mean, I've heard a lot of, bad things from people saying that they're wholesalers because, kind of the big picture about wholesaling is you need to get a house, for a discount. A flipper, if they were to go to him, they would offer more money than I would, right? So I just said I was an investor. That's all.
Yep. That's usually how I do it. I got a deal today, and I went on in my bank account because I finally got some money in my bank account. It's not usually like that, but anyway, I went into my bank account and I showed them my proof of funds. I said, look, I could buy this in 10 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So right then and there, the guy signed, and I'm not planning on buying it. I'm going to wholesale it, but I could buy it, and I probably would if for some reason, if I can't get back in the house, because it was tenanted, if there's a problem with it, I'll probably end up buying it, because it's such a great deal.
Yeah.
Then I'll just sell it or evict or keep it for a minute,
Yeah, and Todd, I don't know if you remember, but the first time we've ever talked on Zoom, I told you that I had a deal under contract, but it got stolen from a cash buyer that around me. So, there's a way to avoid that. On this deal, that was my first deal. I filed an affidavit.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna keep doing that because, it took me a long time to get that deal that got stolen from me. I didn't want that to happen again. So, not
Yeah,
that
Especially if you're
expensive
posting
either.
it on Facebook. I mean, like, did you post it on like a real estate page or on the marketplace?
I posted on a group chat, not marketplace. No.
like a group page
Okay.
of like
Yeah,
a real estate. Yeah. Yeah. You could do the affidavits. I probably got 5 or more affidavits out there, liens on properties that the seller, you know, and I had one time I had an affidavit. I knew something wasn't going right in the title company. And then what else you could do, Christian, if you know a lot of the wholesalers use the same title companies in that area. Once you file the affidavit, or even before you file it, let the title companies know that you filed the affidavit or you're going to. And just because they know that, they will not close it, even if you didn't file it. Okay.
Mhm.
Because that's not what title companies do. Once they hear wind of it, they need a release of purchase agreement.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you do file it, send it to all the title companies, email it to them, let them know that you have a purchase agreement, you filed an affidavit in case another someone tries to go behind you.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, good job. I remember you when you first called us from Dallas. I knew you were hustling. You're on the phones, you're calling all the time. I told Michael Heater, I said, man, you need to talk to this guy. Maybe, because Michael's really good on the phone also, Yeah, I said maybe he could make some calls for you. I didn't know, but good job I know you made close to 20 grand on that deal.
Yeah.
And that's a big number, here in Detroit area. If you're making 10 grand, that's a pretty big number here. Some deals we make anywhere from 3, 4, 5 to 10 to 20,000, sometimes more. Every once in a while you hit a home run, but good job on that. Really, really good job.
Yep.
You got anything else locked up yet?
Actually, just today, a few hours ago, I got back from seeing somebody else's house in Dallas. Pretty weird because it's been vacant since like 2006. So hopefully I can go ahead and lock it up. But other than that, it's only been a week since I closed that deal, so I'm still trying to find some leads.
Do you have any money left?
A lot. I'm 18. I don't pay any mortgage, no bills. So
Good.
yeah, that's
Good
all I'm
job.
saving, spending on marketing.
Good job.
You should
Hey,
do
Carson, I know
go
you.
to. No, I just have some advice from him. Go get the nicest vehicle you can find. Go blow
That's
all
what
the
Michael
money,
said.
dude. Get a fancy watch, get a necklace. I'm telling you, man. That's what we did. Me and Todd. Like Todd's got Gucci. Todd, show me your Gucci shoes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
holes in my socks, bro.
No,
Hey,
he's not
Carson.
lying. But yeah.
Hey, Carson, when you introduced yourself and told everyone about you, I was going to ask you, so in 2 years, how many rental properties did you buy?
I own 10 free
He's
and
got
clear.
so many, he don't even know. What?
Oh, I'm flipping some and some
Yeah.
keeping, but 10. I mean, in 2 years, in the first year, I was hardly working at all. Like I literally didn't buy a house until it was less than a year ago. I bought my first house and I'm up to 10 free and clear rentals, like no mortgages or anything, just from wholesaling and then using my wholesale deals to buy more rentals. So that's starting to become something kind of significant, that passive income. So yeah, I mean, that's the end goal, right? Like I think majority of us on here think wholesaling is cool because you can make a lot of money, but it's not as cool as sitting on the beach in Florida and still making money when your tenants pay you. So
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about wholesaling. You have a constant stream of deeply discounted properties. You can do whatever you want with them.
Yep.
You
And
can either buy one yourself.
Say that again?
You can even buy one, say like you go out to get a deal and you like it, you can buy it for yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, for sure.
So how is the multi rental market, for like 4 families properties?
It's great. I mean, you're gonna pay more, but no, I mean, people are loving 4 families, 2 families, 3 families. They're pretty easy to sell.